Hey, Stoney here with another game of Mechabellum. This is a tournament game from the mini tournament Americas that just happened. This is the advanced group. And in this game, I'll be facing against Dionis. I am playing the marksman specialist, and he'll be playing the supply specialist. The reason I chose marksman specialist because I have been practicing with just sledgehammers and fans, or mostly just sledgehammers, and I really like this particular unit. I think, yes, when they're unleveled and without tech, they may seem slow, but they become a real powerhouse in the middle to late game with proper support. And to start us off, I will be up against pretty much the same composition. I think I started with 3 sets of fans. My opponent starts with 3 sets of crawlers. He ended up adding 2 sets of fans. And of course, being a marksman specialist, I get the orange man. I put my unit slightly off center. The reason I did this is because I expect him to either go off center or just go even, and if he does go off center, then I'll be able to meet him. If he goes even, what happens is that he would have to travel a little bit more to get to my unit, while my unit, or more of my unit, will still engage with his unit. So overall, it's just a very slight advantage, as you can see, right? Because of the number of units that I had over here, it's just a very small advantage. Another difference is that I decided to add another set of tanks, where he decided to add 2 more sets of fans, so chaff. The reason I wanted to add the tanks because in this sort of tank-to-tank battle, the real power comes from these tanks, and they're also your primary chaff clear. So in this sort of mirror match, I figured I needed just more punch versus more chaff clear, so I went for the extra set of tanks. Not that is, a significant advantage, but I think it gives you a very small advantage. And on turn 2, extended Sledgehammer card showed up, and it's a very good card in this sort of a mirror match situation. It's especially better for me because most of my chaff are extending in front of my tank. Well, his chaff, yes, crawlers will very quickly catch up to these tanks. But as of right now, his tanks are a little bit exposed to what I can do. Again, very minor differences. So for this turn, he added even more crawlers. He added another set of tanks. Actually, no, he didn't add more crawlers. He just added another set of tanks, another set of fangs, knowing that he's slightly exposed. I put down a missile here expecting this tank to get hit, but I did not expect to catch the crawlers as well, so that was actually an excellent missile on the right hand side. On the left hand side, I am winning because of the extra set of tanks, and also my chaff is just a little bit better, and they're serving their purpose of tanking the shots. Okay. One of the most important things about tank like sledge mirror matches is how quickly can you get leveled. The sooner you get leveled, the sooner you're going to be doing double the damage while tanking the double damage from your opposing tanks. So this is a very important tempo. And in order to get the level, the key is, of course, to keep your tank alive as long as possible while having it to kill units. And it doesn't always have to be opponents' tanks, it could just be chaff. They'll still get experience, and once they're leveled, they should be able to engage more directly. The unit card came on, and I picked the Wasp. I really like Wasp in this situation, especially level 3 Wasp. One is that they're not going to have a lot of defense against Wasp aside from the fans. It's not like they're going to suddenly pivot to Mustangs in this turn. Another reason with the Wasp is because I run jump drive on them, so I get to move it around from time to time, and sometimes you can get some really good breaks as you're kind of attacking them. You're tricking them into going all over the place. He went out and bought a fortress. Fortress at this level is fairly decent. Unfortunately, he put the fortress right where my sniper is, level 3 marksman, which get brought down pretty quickly. Without the level 3 marksman, I think the fortress is probably going to kill every single one of my tanks here. The wasp is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. They came in from the side, took the tower, buying us valuable time. And you see, this is where we start to scale, because these two level 2 tanks are just gonna keep getting experience, right? They keep killing units, and these are going to be difficult to defend against later on. For this round, I saw Wasp one, so I got the Wasp one, knowing that he probably still does not have enough anti-air. I was expecting him to go Wasp one as well, so I wanted to defend myself a little bit by putting my Wasp at the bottom. He could go Wasp spawning either way. If he did go with this way, I think what will happen is he'll just end up chasing these ballers across the map, and my sniper might be able to shoot these down. If it puts in the middle or on this side, then my level 3 wasp will be able to take care of it. I was playing extra safe, so I would actually just put it on the back, which is good. On his side, he got double upgrades, so ended up selling the fortress because it wasn't positioned ideally. It was positioned right at the marksman. He sold and he got another tech, so he got range tech, so he's now range with mech rage. This is a excellent tech because it allows the tanks to do a lot more killing without endangering themselves. And he also has a lot of late arriving fans, so those are really just coming handy. But unfortunately, the two middle tanks are level 1s, which means they aren't really killing my level 2 tanks efficiently. Whereas my wasp just got in, took the tower, and taking the tanks. And at this turn, you really start to see the tanks snowball because this one is getting level 2. I wanted to take senior defense specialist, but right now I'm just playing tanks, so it's not that big of a deal. Once I start going giants, then that becomes more of a problem. The decision was, okay, so how do I get more chaff out of what we already have? That's number one. And number two, when is the right time to get range on my tank as well? I didn't get range on them because I'm still feeling pretty good that all my units are kind of engaging at the same time. So there's no gap in the middle where his tank is shooting at my tank from range and my tank is walking up to his. Right now it's just his tank is shooting at my chaff from range. I put my wasp in the middle because I noticed there's barely any defense, and these are level 3 wasp and they could just go in and do some damage, and they are. So as you can see, they're just going straight in. All his units are going straight down, which means these wasps are free to do whatever the heck they want to do. Right? It's already picking up a squad of tanks, and these are level 2, so they're really doing a lot of work. And these ones are even made as far as the tower, getting the tower. Right? And you can see how strong just a single group of wasps with jump drive can be, and they absolutely can distract your opponent. I mean, if I'm my opponent, what do I do next? Naturally, I want to put some Mustangs right here. But the problem with Mustangs is that in a mirror match, they just aren't that good against Sledgehammers with mech rage. Right. So in this game, I think really what the biggest factors of winning is, one, getting that initial tempo with these level 2 Sledgehammers. So it makes it a lot harder for my opponent to kind of break free. He did make a mistake with that fortress position right here. If he had his fortress right on this side, he might have had a much better time. He would have cleared on my side and still moved their way over. But because he put it right here, so my orange man was able to shoot him down. And so that's about and his supply spec, so he wasted about 200 credits for that fortress. The wasps played a huge role. I think it took tower twice, and then the one time that he wasn't, they didn't take tower, it was playing down here as a primary support in this direction. So wasp with jump drive really is a powerful element if you're careful with your positioning. Not having range, I think it was a good thing for me. So I get it, right? So this is a mirror match. My opponent wants to get range. You know, I respect that. But I think because of mech rage and because I'm really getting in there and shoot his units anyways, there's really no reason for me to get range. That's another 500. So I could have used that to buy more units, more tanks, which is, you know, I have an extra tank. My chaff isn't, how many chaff I have? So he's got 7 fans, 3 crawlers. I have 4 fans and 6 crawlers. However, my fans got the shield, so they essentially double as chaff. So I have more chaff overall, and I have more tanks because I was able to get the money from not buying range, because I really didn't need the range. My tanks were just going straight up to them. So overall, I think the lesson learned here is, 1, just be very careful with your tempo, especially in the early rounds, because that early upgrade into level 2 can make a whole lot of difference with your tempo. And 2, if there's a wasp, right, with your jump drive, feel free to move it around, because there are opportunities. You can come in from the side, right? In this case, I came in from the middle because I know there's nothing in the middle. You can use it to defend, to plug holes in case they would put like crawler phoenix somewhere. So I find jump drive on wasp to be extremely good tech. So anyways, that's the game. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.